What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jermaine Event, main on MMA, and today we are going to talk about something that I find rather upsetting, ladies and gentlemen, rather upsetting. I did a video a few months back about how I feel like Virna Jandiroba should be the number one contender, should be fighting Zhang Weili for the belt next. She's active, all right? Has the wins in the division. She's active. And one thing that I said didn't make any sense about the division was that Tatiana Suarez, who is injured all day, has not fought one time in 2024, is now crowned. She's now crowned challenger. All right. She's challenging Zhang Weili for her belt at UFC 312. So we're going to check out this video from WMMA Scene Now. I'm a little turned up about this whole announcement. And I know YouTube has its restrictions. So let's just try to watch this video so I can get some minutes going before I can really talk to you guys about how I feel about this whole fight announcement. But this is a video from WMMA Scene Now.
All right, welcome back to WMMA Scene Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a UFC fight announcement. So the Ultimate Fighting Championship has announced a strawweight title bout.
Silly.
Between the current champ, Magnum Weili Zhang, and Tatiana Suarez.
I don't think this fight even actually happens. I just want to put that out there. I have not seen this video, but I wanted to put that out there before we watch the video just in case he says it. But if he doesn't, then I'll touch on it later.
It's going to go down at UFC 312 on February 8th, 2025 in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Okay. As a fight, I think this is going to be good.
Nah. One-sided.
However, I think we're going to be frustrated by whatever comes next. If the fight happens, and there's no guarantee that this fight will actually make it there.
No guarantee. Thank you.
I have feelings about this.
Thank you.
But I also feel that no matter what happens, we're going to be frustrated by what comes after, because you have a champion who rarely ever fights versus someone who has more years inside the UFC than she has fights in the UFC.
Like, why?
Meaning, she never really fights.
Why is she the number one contender? With no fights.
We're going to have some frustrations with this one.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, dude.
And we'll talk about it. And let's go ahead and get into the stats on this one. So the champ Zhang coming in at 25-3, Suarez coming in undefeated at 10-0. Zhang has won 4 straight since her back-to-back losses to Rose Namajunas. Most recently, she fought Yan Xiaonan back in April at UFC 300. Beat her via unanimous decision. Suarez, on the other hand, has not fought since August of 2023.
Crazy.
Where she beat Jessica Andrade via second-round submission. That was her first fight at strawweight in like 4 years. Yeah,
Silliness.
Since 2019, that was her first fight at strawweight. She had a fight a few months before that against, 5 months before.
This is basically the video I would have made. And I thought he would have made it a little more interesting. So I wanted to react to it rather than just pulling up Tapology and rambling. But here we go.
For that against Martina De La Rosa at flyweight. That was her return to action. They're both in their mid-30s. Zhang a year older at 35 to Suarez at 34.
Wow.
Suarez edges the height. 5'5", 165 centimeters to 5'4", 163 centimeters for Zhang. And Suarez has the reach advantage as well, 66 inches, 168 centimeters to 63 inches, 160 centimeters. Okay, so, as I was saying, I don't have a problem with the fight itself. I have a problem I mean, the fight itself is going to be good because you have two very good wrestlers, but you also have an excellent striker in Zhang. I would rate Zhang as the second best striker.
Why is he saying that?
In the division under Yan Xiaonan because Yan outstruck.
How can you say Yan Xiaonan perfectly, but you can't say Zhang? I keep saying Zhan. Who's Zhan? How can you say Yan Xiaonan?
As far as wrestling goes, I would rank Zhan number 2 as well, behind Suarez.
Ooh.
But Suarez is striking, well, it's not that good.
It's not good at all.
Much
She's
like
gonna get marked
Habib,
on her feet.
and I hate to use these comparisons, her striking doesn't have to be that great because everybody's terrified of her wrestling. So yeah, as far as the fight goes, it's going to be good.
Silly.
I can definitely see Suarez taking it.
That'd be the worst thing that ever happened. She somehow makes it to this fight, wins, and then never fights again. What are we talking about?
With her wrestling. But I can see Zhan doing really well on the feet as well. And she's no slouch in the wrestling department either. One thing I think that's going to work against Zhan is that she has a habit of fighting her opponents. She wants to basically go in there and prove that she is better than her opponents at what they do best. That's why she wanted to wrestle against Esparza. Although she didn't really do that against Yan. But she does tend to want to fight her opponents at their game to show that how superior she can be. I think that's going to be a bad idea against Suarez. There's no reason to want to go in there and wrestle with Suarez, who was an Olympic hopeful. The big thing, though, is what's going to happen afterwards. Assuming that the fight actually...
All right, shout out to WMMA Scene Now. Didn't finish the video, but shout out to you. You guys should give them a follow if you feel so inclined. Go check out that video. What the fuck? What the fuck? I was looking at the rankings, in the previous video that I made, and it made no sense to me that Tatiana Suarez was the number one contender. She doesn't fight. All right. She hadn't fought since August 2023. And to get somehow you guys are giving this woman a title fight. She doesn't even have to do a number one contenders fight. Doesn't even need a number one contenders fight. She's just hasn't fought in over a year and is going to get a title fight in 2025. Fought in August 2023, and her next fight will be for the belt in 2025, in February, I believe. What are we talking about? Oh, what are we talking about? What are we actually talking about? February 8th, 2025, all right? Hasn't fought in almost 2 years, is the number one contender somehow. For no reason. Verna Jandiroba is the number one contender. Verna Jandiroba is much more active than both these ladies. Verna Jandiroba would make strawweight great again. But that's too much like right, ladies and gentlemen. That's too much like right. If Tatiana Suarez somehow actually makes it to this fight in February, if she somehow is able to beat Zhang Weili, who's the bigger star, all right, and even with Zhang basically never fighting, she's still more active than Tatiana Suarez, who's always injured. Why would you even book this fight? Why would you even book this fight? Are you going to book fucking Cody Garbrandt versus a known injured TJ Dillashaw for the belt, for a BMF belt? Why? It's silly. It's silly. Why? Everybody's coming in compromised. This is silly right here, ladies and gentlemen. If this fight between Tatiana Suarez and Zhang Weili even happens, I seriously doubt Tatiana Suarez even makes it to February 8th. That's a long time from now. All right. She doesn't fight. She didn't get a chance to make it in the octagon in 2024. I doubt this fight happens, and this basically is just the announcement of Zhang Weili versus Virna Jandiroba, February 8th at UFC 312. That's basically what they've announced. Because, dude, Tatiana Suarez is a part-time fighter. It's not her fault. She's injured, I guess. But even when she's in there, the striking is atrocious. Oh, it's atrocious. It's only a matter of time. And you guys are going to put her in there with Zhang Weili? That girl's going to touch her up on the feet. All right? And she can hang. I think she can hang with her in the grappling. She punches her in the mouth. All right. That her wrestling, you know, what did they say? You punch somebody in the mouth, a black belt becomes a brown belt. Punch them in the mouth again, they become a blue belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Zhang is going to fuck this girl up. I think she's a much better fighter. She's going to fuck this girl up. This girl who's not active. All right, we got Zhang Weili, who's at the top of her game and should be more active. I don't understand why she doesn't fight more. Honestly, she doesn't fight more because she's clearing out the division. It's clear these other girls aren't on her level, other than like Virna Jandiroba, who could really hang with her in the grappling with the jiu-jitsu. And Virna's just been looking a lot better lately. But these ladies aren't on her level, and Tatiana Suarez, this isn't the answer, in my opinion. I don't think this is the fight that should be happening. I think she should have to prove that she can stay healthy and be in there, fight. She's 34. She's 34. And she hasn't fought since 2023, and she's about to get a title fight in 2025. She's 34. She doesn't fight, and she's about to fight one of the most active. She's crazy. Dude, Magnum. Zhang Weili there's so much activity that she's about to throw at this inactive Tatiana Suarez. This is a bad fight. To me, this is when they booked Kaya Asakura versus Pantoja. What did I say on here? I made the video like they're robbing the flyweight division. I said this fight is pointless. They shouldn't have it. And what happened? Pantoja walked through Kaya Asakura and choked that man unconscious. Beat him up on the feet, tuck him down, choked him out unconscious. They didn't need to have that fight. Looked like anybody else in that division, like Charles Energy Johnson, was probably much more qualified for that moment than an unproven Kaya Asakura. But no, they booked it. And now they're booking an unproven Tatiana Suarez to get her fucking ass beat by Zhang Weili. This is a sacrifice in here. All right. Isn't she dating Patchy Mix? I always feel like her striking should be better. I don't know. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this a good fight? Do you think the UFC made the right decision by booking the inactive Tatiana Suarez to fight Zhang Weili? Or do you feel like they got it wrong, ladies and gentlemen? And who do you believe should be in this fight against Zhang Weili at UFC 312? Let me know in the comments, ladies and gents. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you When I see you, I'll holler.